All right, y'all bet what's going on, bro? Here I am. I'm at this spot, bro. I'm watching the World Cup here, bro. I'm actually watching Brazil versus Haiti right now, and I actually got Brazil in my arbitrage in my World Cup. If it's too loud, I'm sorry, bro. I've never recorded a video here, but we gonna do one right here. Brazil playing right now versus Haiti. It just started minute 8, bro, and I got this big screen right here. So I actually got Brazil in my arbitrage opportunity, so hopefully we get a dub. My price goes up, price of shares goes up, but yeah, so here we are. I wanted to explain to you guys how my arbitrage scanner works, like the anatomy of a neg risk market, bro. So let's say, for example, the who wins the World Cup, man. I made 2 videos on it already. I'm gonna make like 20 by the end of the World Cup, but basically Polymarket, the neg risk markets, maps a single event to mutually exclusive outcomes, each with a price reflecting its implied probability. Oh, Brazil scored! Let's go, bruh. Brazil fucking scored right now. Minute 12 type shit. Rafinha? Shit. This is the prime example of a neg risk market. Instead of one yes or no question outcome, there's only 2 outcomes. In a neg risk market, each team is an outcome. So let's take France at 18 cents, Spain at 16 cents, Argentina at 14 cents. This is what the market believes that is going to win the World Cup. It means 18% that France is going to win, 16% that Spain is going to win. You know, you get it, right? The sum to one insight. Let's say 78 cents. When all outcome prices sum to less than $1, a mathematical pricing inefficiency exists. This gap represents the raw arbitrage spread. This is the real arbitrage right here. In a perfect neg risk market, every outcome would amount up to $1, but that's not the case. For example, the World Cup market, actually that one amounts to $1.04. But let's say there's a market out there for who will win the Nobel Peace Prize, and that's a true arbitrage. Every single outcome will go up to 60 cents, right? My scanner is built to find that gap where inefficiencies are in the markets, right? In the events. So we got 2 paths and 1 fork. So we got true arbitrage. Buy every single outcome in the market, guaranteed payout regardless of the winner. The classic mathematical risk-free approach. This is the one I was talking about. The Nobel Peace Prize. It amounts, every single outcome amounts to 54 cents. If you buy every single outcome, one of them will win. You're gonna win it, right? So, but for the coverage bet, here we exclude statistically impossible outcomes to artificially lower the sum. Higher operational risk, but drastically higher potential yield. So we got the same gap, just 2 different ways to go about it. So here we got path 1, the true arbitrage, bro. 100% market coverage. The scanner buys every available share across all outcomes because they are mutually exclusive. Exactly 1 outcome will definitively resolve to $1. So the cost, let's say the total sum of combined prices equals 78 cents. Guaranteed payout of $1 per share. That'll be a guaranteed 22% return on capital. This is the closest thing to free money that the system finds, because there's literally no outcome that isn't covered. You know, like every single outcome you buy, that's true arbitrage in its core. But the coverage bet is a little different. So the greedy construction algorithm. So when the full sum exceeds our target, like for example the World Cup, every single outcome, it'll be $1.04 per share, which is higher than, you know, if you win it, all your shares turn into $1. You get a 4-cent loss on that. So when the full sum exceeds our target, we sort outcomes by price, highest to lowest, since price is just implied probability. We build a basket by adding outcomes one at a time in that order until the next outcome would push our total cost over a fixed dollar ceiling. Whatever made it in before that point is in the basket. Coverage percentage isn't something we target directly, it's just whatever falls out of the cost ceiling. But this is the key distinction from true arbitrage. We're not trying to hit a coverage percentage. We're walking down a sorted list and stopping the instant the next pick would cost over or cost too much. The percentage of probability we end up covering is a side effect but not the goal. Reaching the threshold, the cost ceiling. The algorithm keeps adding outcomes to the basket until the next one would push the cumulative cost past a fixed floor. For example, 80 cents, right? The moment that floor would be breached, the basket stops growing. Any outcome that pushes it past 80 cents, it stops. And you can set this yourself. It doesn't have to be 80 cents. That's just the default. that my scanner does. If the resulting cost stays meaningfully below $1 after fees, that gap is the opportunity right there, man. So the floor isn't a soft target, it's a pretty like hard target. One outcome that pushes it out past 80 cents right here, it does not get in the basket at all. So for example, you know, I made 2 videos on this already. This is gonna be like my third actually. So the coverage basket World Cup, so we got 78 cents the cost for the top 8 teams. So by dropping 41 extreme long shot teams, bro, that Morocco's pretty stacked, but they're not winning the World Cup. We got fucking, fuck, I was gonna say USA, but low-key USA got Belgium, bro. Literally wrote Belgium. Belgium is fine, bro. Belgium is not winning. Congo's not winning. Haiti's not winning. We drop all of those, dude. They add up the cost. You know, if they win, they add up the cost. If I include them in my basket, they add up the cost. So the basket stops growing once adding any of those teams would push the cover over our 80-cent ceiling. All right. So if any of those 8 teams win, we net a 22% return before fees because everything costs 78 cents. We lose capital only if the team outside the basket wins. A real bounded risk, not a guarantee. So you gotta watch out for those, bro. But I mean, for the World Cup, I feel like it's pretty, you know, aside from USA, I feel like it's pretty chilling. So right here, the liquidity bottleneck, the weakest link a part of the scanner right here. So an arbitrage opportunity is only as large as its least liquid leg. You cannot buy $1,000 of outcome A if outcomes B opposing order book only holds $50 of debt. The scanner strictly identifies the bottleneck outcome and accurately sizes the entire synchronized basket trade around that limit constraint. Okay, so here we got the 3 gate filters. So first one, the price gap. The gross sum of targeted outcomes must be strictly less than 99 cents for the true ARB or below the target threshold for coverage bets. That's the threshold that you can set whatever you want on your settings. Here we go to the next one. The core bottleneck liquidity must securely support a minimum trade size to properly justify on-chain gas and execution costs, man. This is important, bro. You have to have enough liquidity for that. So number 3, positive EV. After deducting all taker fees and modeling potential slippage, the net expected value must remain firmly positive. This is what we're looking for, positive EV. We got 3 separate checks, and for an opportunity to pass, it has to pass each one, man. Here we got position sizing limits. We got 2 of them, okay? We got alpha depletion, okay, the primary stop condition. The optimizer stops increasing position size the moment modeled slippage pushes the marginal edge below our minimum yield threshold. And then we got the next one, capital allocation, the secondary stop location. Even if the modeled edge stays strong, the bot strictly caps maximum capital deployed per opportunity to respect portfolio risk limits. Okay, so we got 2 separate breaks here. One triggered by the trade getting less profitable as it grows, and one triggered by a hard dollar ceiling regardless of how good the trade still looks. Size trade output. So this is an example. We got Brazil, France, England, Argentina. We're gonna get 500 shares of each. Okay, and those are the max limit prices right there. So we allocate more money to the higher pricing and less to the lower pricing because the multiplier increases the lower the limit prices. That'll be our total investment, $320. And if one of those wins, damn right, we're gonna make that shit back, bro. All right, we're almost done here. We got 2 more slides to go. So the live execution console. So the terminal output displays a continuous calculation loop of evaluated market structures. You know, when the 3-gate filter is finally cleared, the precise array of synchronized limit orders is generated. This is the moment everything before it, the scan, math, the fee deduction, the liquidity check, everything turns into an actual order ready to go out. So this is the execution pipeline recap right here. So first we scan the Gamma REST API for live event and market data. We scan it every 10 seconds. Then we calculate, evaluate true ARB and coverage bet frameworks. Then 3, we filter the 3-gate filter that I was talking about, and then we execute. We size the position using the slippage model and dispatch batch trades. So 4 stages every single scan cycle. So that's basically everything I built. If you want to take a look at it, bro, I just wanted to explain how this works, how the arbitrage scanner really works. There's a lot of shit, man. True ARB, we're trying to get money, man. Let's go.